Welcome to the Books, Beards, Booze podcast, where we talk books, drink booze, and have beards.
All right. As always, I am Bob of Tales by Bob.
And I, for the first time, am the ass of the podcast, Derek, from wherever asses come from. Where do donkeys come from?
Domesticated donkeys were first domesticated in either Mesopotamia or Egypt.
Let's go with Mesopotamia.
You're a hot Mesopotamia.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, if you want to know why he's an ass, you need to listen to last week's incredible episode, Books, Beards, and Burrows, which is actually getting some pretty rave reviews. People enjoyed that episode. So let's dive into our news. First up, I have some fantastic pun-based book news. So, I don't know who actually released it, but a collection of sci-fi fantasy from Israel has been released, and it's called, wait for it, Zion's Fiction. Love it. Zion's Fiction, a treasury of Israeli speculative literature. It's English language, or it's published in English, but the stories were originally, a lot of them were apparently originally written in Hebrew and have been translated. And it says it covers everything from tales of invasions, both alien and angelic, dystopias in which child rearing is outlawed in favor of technologically produced adulthood, and a marriage between death and a Jerusalem maiden, and other inventive imaginings. It has a foreword by Robert Silverberg, which I've read some stuff by him. He's real good. An afterword by Dr. Aaron Hauptman, the founding editor of Fantasia 2000, which is Israel's seminal science fiction fantasy magazine. And there is art done for each story by American-born Israeli artist Avi Katz. And I read a really interesting article where this isn't the first Israeli sci-fi collection to be released. It's the second.
But it's the one with the best name?
Well, yeah, it's definitely got the best fucking name. I can't even remember what the other one was called. But they said, like, the other one, like, reading the review, like, the other one is, like, 5 of the stories were about golems. 3 of them were about Dybbuk boxes. Like, they were all, like, cliche-ly Israeli Jewish stories. These are just sci-fi fantasy stories by Israelis. Yeah, like, it wasn't steering into a cliche. So, sounds really good. It's available on Amazon. If I remember, I will put a link.
Well,
oh, my let me stop my apparently I've turned on Amazon on my Kindle somehow. Didn't know that. Okay, yeah, no, we got you. Okay, don't note to self, don't say that name anymore.
Y'all see what I got to deal with?
That's fair. I normally don't even bring my Kindle along, but oh well.
So anyways, moving on into my book news, Little Free Library founder Todd Bull died yesterday.
Oh.
And he died yesterday after a decade of quote-unquote hoping to bring society or neighborhoods together to where everyone would know each other's names and all people would have access to books. He passed away after starting his idea and taking off to the point where there are now little free libraries in 88 countries across the world.
There's actually, they just opened one up in one of where we play D&D. One of his neighbors apparently just started one. And mine currently resides at Basement Cuts by Seville, is where mine currently lives. So that is sad, but his legacy lives on.
Died
so that's
at the
cool.
age of 62.
Oh, that's
Really
pretty young.
young,
Yeah. Beard news. All right, the most important beard news, obviously, is
that we both still have ours.
Well, yeah, that we both still have ours. Second most important news is the Flyers, as mascotted by Gritty, our unofficial mascot, are 3-3 as of the recording of this podcast. It may be different by the time you hear this, but as of this moment, they are 3-3.
Okay, it's respectable.
Chaos still reigns in Philly. My more substantial news is Alex Trebek, who grew a beard over the summer and at the start of the 35th season of Jeopardy still had it, has shaved his beard off. He told viewers to vote on social media on whether or not to keep it, and he said, "Sorry to have to tell you folks, but voting is now closed. And we've determined that the winner is my wife, Jean. She voted for me to be clean shaven, and so that's it." So, obviously, Jean is a shill for Big Razor.
Speaking of Big Razor, my news is that there's people fighting back against Big Razor.
Good.
You know where they're from?
Where?
The fucking UK. Because Prince Harry grew a beard.
I saw that.
And little children are fascinated with it. So now we have a front man.
Yeah. Prince
He's
Harry.
right there with us, fighting the good fight. He's all about that.
He's got a ginger beard. We've got ginger beards. So, yeah.
He's right there fighting with us, bro.
So, is it safe to say that he's copying our style? Prince Harry, the royal family, is copying our style?
I'm not going to say that he's a Johnny-come-lately, because he's the face of the movement now.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah. Well, are you sure that Gritty's not the face of the movement? Because he also has a ginger beard.
I'd say he's like vice president. Like vice
okay.
face of the movement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prince Harry's the face, Gritty's the mascot.
He's the enforcer.
Yeah. Because chaos reigns.
Yeah, exactly. But I think we can all get behind the fact that and it's one of those things like he's guerrilla warfaring against these big razor people because like you know how he just shows up places?
Yeah.
And people are like, wow, look at that nice beard. He's attacking them on all fronts.
Yeah.
They never know where he's going to come from next.
I like it.
It's game on.
I like it. One little add-on to the Alex Trebek. He, apparently, every day on Twitter for, a week, he shaved progressively more of it off. Mm-hmm. So, on the day that he had a goatee, the Twitter caption said, and I quote, "Next stop, Goatee City. Population, Alex Trebeard." I loved it.
So what's your next news there, Bob?
Oh, this excites me to no fucking end. I found this bit of news and I got an erection as I was reading this. It was fantastic.
It's because you're a bad person.
Conor McGregor's proper number 12, his brand of whiskey, apparently fucking sucks. And that's awesome because I really don't like Conor McGregor. The thing about it is what are arguably Ireland's two biggest exports that aren't liquor based? Conor McGregor and
potatoes.
U2.
No,
and,
potatoes.
Well, yeah. Well, no.
Well, it'd be U2 and
potatoes. They don't have potatoes. That's the problem. Oh, that was the problem. Anyway, no. The two biggest social or not social, but entertainment properties.
I gotcha.
U2 and Conor McGregor. Mm-hmm. At least here in America.
And they're both getting.
And I don't like U2. And I fucking can't stand Conor McGregor.
It's because you have a hate-filled heart, Bob.
Maybe, but fuck Conor McGregor.
You really do. Yeah.
But, so, here are some quotes by people who have tried it. And these are people from Business Insider. They got a bottle of it. They were sent a bottle. And here's some quotes. "It smelled like ethanol and tasted only marginally better. A small initial sip was deceptively okay, but subsequent snifters were like vanilla flavoring trying to cover up rubbing alcohol."
Oh, dude. That's your Irish whiskey. That's what you would like. I mean, you like Heaven Hill because it's ethanol with a little bit of coloring.
This is meant to be sipped. This is not Heaven Hill. I don't like drinking Heaven Hill straight. Heaven Hill just mixes good with Coke. This... another quote. "It tasted like bad whiskey watered down with cheap vanilla extract." Here, their food taster said, "I've had smoother whiskeys in the past, so I wouldn't recommend anybody drink this neat, but it would probably be fine with a mixer." So basically, proper number 12 is shitty
the
Heaven
Irish
Hell.
Mixing. Yeah, I was going to say it's the Irish.
Which really
mixing.
sucks because it's like they used the world's oldest licensed whiskey distiller. I think you talked about this.
Jameson?
In Ireland, and worked with David Elder, who was a master distiller with Guinness. Mm-hmm. And they're using water from the waters of St. Colum's Rill that flow through the alkaline saturating limestone and basalt on their way to sphagnum peatlands that help it acquire the flavor that has been prized for centuries. And apparently they did 100 different flavors profiles until they got this. Yeah. This is the 101th-ish, and it's not good. Much like Conor McGregor. Well, I take that back. Conor McGregor is actually really good at what he does, but he's
not the best person.
He's not a good person, seemingly. His public persona would lead me to believe he's not a good person.
And he can't throw a football. I don't know if you saw that.
Well, if we're judging people by that, then I'm a shit person too.
I feel like that's what I was just saying. You have so much hate in your heart, Bob. It comes out in your throwing motion.
It could be, because I am not good with a football. I remember when I was in PE, I'm not good at throwing a football. I'm not good catching a football. But I figured out that like at 10 yards, I can consistently, 85% of the time, if I'm 10 yards away, I can catch it. Yeah. And so when we would play two-hand touch in PE, I would always go out
10 yards.
Yeah, 10 yards. 10 yards, get to the first down, and then I could pretty consistently catch it. And I got real cocky with that, and thought I got a little uppity with it, man. And I quickly got put in my place by people who can both throw and catch a football.
Yeah, I can't throw that. I can get it there. It won't be pretty, and I don't have the strongest arm and never have.
Yeah.
But I can catch pretty much anything you'll put in the area. Yeah. So that was always. But anyways, that's irrelevant, Bob. Because we've got to move on to my 2 note cards worth of booze news.
Oh.
So, an American whiskey for the third straight year was named the world's best whiskey. There's a book or a publication called Jim Morey's Whiskey Bible that comes out every year.
Have you bought this year's yet?
I have
Derek?
not, but I do know who won.
Yeah, so we should. You know what? I have a pen right here. I will make a note. I'll write it on my hand. Mm-hmm. It's
Jim
Murray
Whiskey Bible.
Whiskey Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I will put a link on the blog to it and Zion's fiction. There will be links. You can rush out and buy them.
Anyways, apparently he's a very well-respected whiskey connoisseur, essentially. Yeah. So this year when he came out with his Bible, William LaRue Weller, which is produced by Buffalo Trace, and it's a part of their antique collection, won the number 1 best whiskey in the world this year.
Huh.
The second, the runner-up was
Heaven Hell?
No, was Thomas Sazerac or something.
Sazerac.
Thomas Sazerac Straight Rye.
That's weird because Sazerac.
No, that's third. I'm sorry. That was third, and that's also from Buffalo Trace. Okay. So they got 2 of the top 3.
Sazerac is a famous drink from New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
It's not like a liquor. It's like a mixed drink. It's like a Sazerac.
And the runner-up was Glen Grant 18 was the number 2 selection. But anyways, interesting. This comes along the way with the fact that American whiskey is obviously booming recently in the past couple of years, specifically this year, where in the U.S., not looking at globally, but just in the U.S., its growth has gone up 8.1%, which has increased its overall taking by $252 million, making its total $3.4 billion earned domestically. Let's see. William LaRue Weller is a wheated bourbon, which to be a bourbon, you have to have a mash bill or recipe, basically, of at least 51% corn, which they generally go higher from somewhere usually 70 to 80% corn.
Okay.
But it has to be at least 51% corn to be a bourbon. And after that, you also use barley, which makes the sugars, which makes a lot of sugars for the yeast to feed on.
Yeah.
Which does a lot of like the heavy lifting when it comes to just the chemistry or whatever you want to say.
In a quick aside of related news, I saw a headline that said global warming is probably going to cause a greatly increased beer cost because of barley die-off.
So the barley does that, and then what they take is the third grain is kind of what they decide to use for the flavor. So most whiskeys use rye, which is where it gets a black pepper, nutmeg, or clove kind of bite, sting, taste at the end of the finish. So for a wheated bourbon, they replace it with wheat instead of rye, which is a neutral flavor, so it leaves it without the bite at the end, leaves it cleaner, and gives you more of the sweetness from the corn. So that's what it's one of those.
Go buy us a bottle.
Wait till I get to the price. This is the second year in a row that Buffalo Trace has won the award. Last year was Colonel E.H. Taylor 4 Grain that won. William LaRue Weller is 128.2 proof, making it what they call cask strength, also known as barrel strength or barrel proof, which means after they age it in the barrels, they don't dilute it with water after they pull it out.
Okay.
So it leaves it at a higher proof. So 128.2 is roughly 64% alcohol. Let's see. The flavor profile is, from what I can understand just from reading the tasting profile, is very standard bourbon flavor. So caramel and vanilla, but it's got kind of a marshmallow note that's a little bit different as far as I know. It might be more common
in wheated beers.
Maybe, I'm not really sure. I'm used to having, I like rye, I like the black pepper note, so I'm used to having that kind of cover, but it's also considered very smooth and soft. The price per bottle is $1,600 because because it's one of Buffalo Trace's antique collection, which they come out with a couple of them, they release them, and those sumbitches are gone instantly. Buffalo Trace is really on the come up. So
$1,600.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
So, like I said, go buy us one.
Yeah, about that. Yeah. And that's what I got.
All right. Well, fuck.
You're welcome for the lesson.
God, that is appreciated. Informative. I'm going to go start the harmonica and cry into an empty flask. All right, and we are back. So, me and Derek have been talking about the podcast a lot of late, and I mean, really, we've only kept this format for probably like 3-4 weeks at this point. So we're due for a change, as we always do.
Yeah.
So this is going to be the last episode that follows this format. Starting with next week, we're going to cut back on the news in favor of the banter, basically. Like, instead of like going down a checklist of we got to talk about this, and this, we're going to generally each episode will focus on one topic. We'll do a deeper dive on it, and if little bits of news come up here and there, cool. But really, our focus is having beards, drinking booze, and talking books. So we're going to do a lot more just really talking about books. At the same time, we are going to start going in halves on cool, more expensive bottles of liquor, and we're only going to drink them while we pregame or record the podcast, and that'll be all we drink until we finish the bottle. So you'll be able to tell how good it is by how many podcasts a bottle lasts. So I'm estimating it's probably on average, I would think, it'll probably last 2 to 3 podcasts, 2.5, 3 podcasts.
Pretty safe.
So if you see us like 5 podcasts in a row, we're still working on a bottle. It probably tastes like ass.
Or it's because somebody had to go do something afterwards.
Yeah.
Or
So, but like
there's extenuating circumstances.
But so we this way we can really go in depth and really talk about it, and gives us an excuse to pregame every podcast, so we've got a good buzz going when we start. But we're going to try this for a while. If y'all hate it, you can
Too
let
bad,
us.
because it's the best. It's the best idea.
We really think this is going to be better, but if it comes down to it and y'all absolutely hate us, let us know and we'll tweak it again. But we're really trying to get everything nailed down by January, because January, new gear, have this format locked in, and really start bringing our A game. Like, we're going to be bringing y'all some really cool people that we have on tap to interview, talking about taking some field trips. We're going to have really good microphones, so it'll sound even better. Like, y'all are going to be like, oh my God, new podcast, who dis?
And then they're going to be like, wow, that Derek's really mean to Bob.
That's fair. But in other little snippet of news real quick, we got shirts now.
Yes, that's what I was going to bring up.
Yeah, we got shirts on Amazon. So go buy... Oh, I said her name again.
But you said Amazon. You didn't say... I thought...
That's because it's my Kindle. That's not my Alexa. Anyway, so you can go into that site that I can't say the name of because my Kindle will act up. But I will try and remember to post a link in the blog for that as well.
Get you a fancy shirt.
Yeah, get you a shirt. We're going to end up having 2 designs, but for right now we got our logo on either a white shirt, a red shirt. It's not red, it's cranberry.
That's what I saw.
A gray or a green.
Now I ask you, did
Yeah.
you get it cranberry because you're a woman and you only drink cranberry vodka tonics?
No, but tempting. No, it was more. I didn't like the color red that they had.
The specific color.
Yeah, they had red and they had cranberry, and I just thought the cranberry looked better. So, but yeah. So there's that, and final little snippet. Come check me out tomorrow or Sunday. By the time you're hearing this, it'll be
already over.
It'll be Sunday, so you're gonna have to
hightail it.
You're gonna have to hightail it down. But I will be at Gump City Con, slinging them shot glasses, selling them Tells by Bob shirts, selling books, hopefully earning us enough money to buy all this new podcast gear. That's the goal. Come out the other side with enough money to buy our podcasting gear. So fingers crossed on that. You can help us out by, you can just come down there and hand me money if you really like us. Just be like, hey, Bob, here's $80. Go buy a microphone. And I'll be like, thanks, bro.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, and also, if you haven't done it yet, we're doing the contest still. There's a YouTube video that explains everything about it. But basically, comment on a YouTube video, shoot us an email to booksbeardsbooze, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like. Just do things like that. Just leave us a review on iTunes, and you get entered into the contest to win cool prizes, including a shot glass and Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn. So,
which is pretty good series.
Yeah, and it's sealed in box. But yeah, so anyway, lots of little news there. Hope y'all will take advantage of some of this. Hope y'all are excited. But because of that, there's a bunch of news to get to cover, and we're going to be transitioning into this new format. We didn't do a book battle, and we didn't pick a topic to do a deep dive on. We're kind of just talking about anything that kind of caught our interest, like what we've read recently, what we're reading, that kind of stuff.
And one of the most important things to bring up is that I read this really cool list of the best things that you should read.
Uh-oh.
And one of my favorite series, The Wheel of Time, was on this list. And Bob's favorite book,
The Black Company.
Black Company didn't make it. But in his defense, it did have Dune on there, which is what I'm currently reading, and is another thing I'll be discussing later.
Yeah. Let's dive in on that. What I just got done reading was Scattered, Smothered, Covered by John Hartness. It's you can get it on Amazon. If you have Kindle Unlimited, I believe it might be free, Kindle Unlimited. Oh my God! This Kindle is stop. How?
People are gonna think Superfan Tanya's here. They
Right,
just keep hearing a female voice, and they're just like, "What is that?"
Okay, I turned it off now. So maybe
I like how he didn't turn it off the first time.
I didn't think it'd be that easy. I don't ever turn it off. I didn't realize it was just one button and it'll just power down. Anyway, so but yeah, it was good. I really enjoyed it. It's not PC, but intentionally so, because it's about this like uber redneck that goes around killing monsters like vampires and stuff like that. But he like basically every story starts out he's in a strip club, like just chilling, waiting.
I don't understand the problem,
waiting for the next monster. It's great. It's lighthearted ish. It gets fairly serious in later stories, but it's basically a collection of short stories, and really enjoyed it. So that's what I just finished.
I just found Dune again because I had misplaced
You've
it
been
for
like 2 months at least.
I think it was a month, maybe a little bit, somewhere between a month and two. But
Yeah.
I could not for the life of me find this damn
Where was
book.
it?
I don't want to say.
Okay.
But it was a place that I thought I had looked,
Yeah.
and then it just, I don't know if I just didn't see it or what happened, but
Yeah.
anyways, so I found it and I started reading it again, and I'm finally past the part that I had read before.
Yeah.
So
And Superfan Tanya is currently reading it as well.
last I talked to her, I was further than her, but she might have shot past me again.
I think she said she was reading today until like 4:30, so she may be.
Yeah, she
she-
might have gotten past me. I'm not real sure because I asked her about it.
It's a race.
Yeah, well, I'll probably.
It's not a race,
Okay.
but
They don't tell me it's a race because then
No.
I'm not doing anything until that book is done.
oh, so then it's definitely a race. No. But she said that it's gotten better.
We need to do a full episode on this, and I've already said some of my piece, and I will a very brief version of it.
Because I haven't actually uploaded that Dune shit talk episode.
Oh, okay.
I could do that here in a little bit actually. So I might do that.
My point is very well done, but I do not enjoy it. That is a tease for when we do the bonus podcast.
I know his
about
reasonings, and while normally his opinions are dumb, I will acknowledge and understand that his critique is somewhat valid. He's
still good.
But he's still wrong.
I'm still reading.
I also just finished the Audible version of The Lies of Locke Lamora.
Which is amazing.
It is amazing. I actually, I normally enjoy reading a book more than the audiobook on those rare, there's not a lot of overlap on that. Like Red Rising, I enjoyed reading Red Rising more than I enjoyed the audiobook of it. Honest to God, I enjoyed the audiobook of Lies of Locke Lamora more than reading it.
Yep.
I enjoyed it so much so that I immediately bought the next two books, partly because, it's fresh in my mind. But I really want to see, everyone, they don't shit talk the next two books, but everyone...
Comparatively, they do.
Yeah, comparatively.
Including me, because the first one was so
it sets such a high bar, and the other two apparently don't live up to it. And where I'm at currently in the second book, it's still really good. But we'll probably do a deep dive on that at a later point. But what I'm reading now. So last night, Superfan Tanya was at my house. It's it's spooky season. Let's watch a scary movie. So we queued up Netflix and saw a movie called The Ritual. Real good horror movie set in Sweden. It's some British guys go on a hike in Sweden and shit goes wrong. It was so good. Every time I watch a movie, I go to the Wikipedia page right after and read about it to see if I missed something or if there's plans for a sequel, that kind of stuff. It said based on a novel of the same name. I immediately went out, found it. It's Kindle version, only $2.99. So I bought The Ritual.
Started reading that,
and I'm already 13% done with it, and so far it's really good.
Speaking of that, when I woke up today, I had a notification from Audible telling me that I had pick two of these things for free.
Yeah, they started doing that. Every month you now get 2 books. Last month but what I've noticed is they're short. They're 3 to 4 hour books, but still it's free. Yeah. Last month I got an X-Files book.
Yeah, I was going to say this month I got a series of short stories, ghost stories.
Yeah, I got the one that's like kind of horror, but yeah.
I got one, and then I got the therapy one. What's the other one? I did,
but I saw it was like love therapy, and it didn't
quite. About couples.
Yeah, I did. I may go back and get. I've still got a couple days to go back and get it. If you don't have Audible, guys, if you like listening to podcasts and you haven't given audiobooks a try,
you're messing up.
Yeah, you can get a 30-day trial of Audible. I'm almost positive. And so just go give it a try. Just go give it a try.
If you listen to any podcast and have not heard that they are sponsored by them and can't get a free month and a free first book, I don't know what you
check it out. Like I poo-pooed audiobooks for a long time. You can ask Derek because I poo-pooed him listening to audiobooks. And then I finally just took the plunge, and I regret that I waited this long to do it. It's fucking great. It's perfect. Because I'm basically able to read 2 books at a time now. Because while I'm in the car,
or for some reason, it's easier to differentiate between the one that you're listening to and the one that you're reading. Like for me, I
don't have any trouble with that.
For some reason, when I'm reading a book, I'll kind of things will get mixed up maybe, or I'll. But when I'm listening to one and reading one, it doesn't I don't have any problems with it.
Yeah, but set in stone. The moment I am done with the ritual, I'm starting Bloody Rose. I'm tackling Bloody Rose. I hate myself for having put it off this long, but I felt I really wanted to read this John Harkness. Like I was already reading Jade City when Bloody Rose came out, and that took so long.
I don't know how Jade City took long. That book was great
because
I'm just still thinking about it.
You finished it, right?
What, Jade City?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Oh yeah, we talked about it. Yeah.
Dude, I'm still I'm just.
You're a little jaded?
No. Oh, yes. I'm so fucking jaded.
But no, but I felt like I owed John Harkness reading this because he was kind enough to give me some time at Dragon Con. So I was like, I wanted to read it so I could give a review of it. And then the ritual is like, well, fuck. While I watched that movie last night, I want to read the book right now because it is spooky season.
Yeah.
I want to read something spooky. But Bloody Rose is fucking next, no matter what.
You didn't ask. Maybe Bloody Rose is spooky.
It could be, but I feel like it's gonna be fair. This book is grim. It's spooky and grim and really good, and only $2.99. So I was fully expecting when I went and looked, it was going to be like $9 or something like that. Well, when I saw like the print version like $14, I was like, fuck me. I bet you the ebook's going to be like $13.98 or something like that. And then when I clicked over, it said $2.99. I was like, click. I don't know if I caught it on a good day or what, but yeah,
it was in a good mood.
Yeah, maybe. So last thing I want to talk about before we get out of here is I've talked to Derek about it. I have found a recipe on how to make liquor for cheap. God. I am super excited about this. I've got to buy some gear, but it's not expensive gear. I think I can basically just go out and get a beer making kit because all I need is a 5-gallon bucket, or a 7-gallon kitchen grade bucket with a lid, and then like a little glass rubber grommet-y thing to put in the top, and then like sugar and water and a cleaner, and then in two weeks later, we will have like 5 gallons of 36 proof liquor, which is not super stout.
Yeah, that's the thing I keep coming back to. 36.
But it's effectively like that Stills Crossroads stuff. Like if you think about like a high gravity beer is 8%.
Yeah.
This is going to be 10% higher than a high gravity beer. And we're going to infuse it. We're going to do a bacon infusion. We're going to do an apple pie infusion. We could do blueberry. We're going to have enough that we can fill up a bunch of mason jars and experiment.
Blackberry?
Yeah.
Because I like blackberry.
Yes. Yeah. We can do anything you want to infuse.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to...
Yeah. We're going to...
I changed my mind.
Yeah. It's going to, like I said, it's going to be like that Stills Crossroads
Fuck it. Yeah, why not?
And I wonder, like Still's Crossroads, what the biggest difference between that and like whiskey is distilling it. Mm-hmm. This is undistilled. Distilling, first off, we will not be selling this because that's illegal.
Yeah.
But we could sell it if we would go out and get the license. We're not going to.
No.
But the other thing is, if you distill it, you have to have a special license for that. I bet you Still's Crossroads, they started out making this so they didn't have to get a distillery license. So
could be. I don't know. We'll do whatever.
But yeah, it's gonna be real fun because like basically we'll just take a bunch of mason jars, set them out, and then like you can take half, I'll take half, and we'll make them, and then we'll just start trying them and see what we like.
I like how this is almost exactly a thing that Bane did, but we're doing it like 5 years after he did it.
Hey, if it's on WikiHow,
you're in.
I'm in, pretty much. Like I cannot count the number of times.
He says that, but then we looked up how to make whiskey.
Well, we did do the WikiHow on how to make whiskey.
I
did, but the WikiHow walked me right through the distilling process. It just was like, wow, this is too complicated. But I've learned how to do so much on WikiHow. It's
tie
stupid.
His shoes.
Well, no, I prefer slip-ons. I prefer slip-ons.
That's a good point.
But yeah, no, I think it's gonna be fun, and like I said, I mean, we'll just pour it into mason jars. You take half, I take half. We just make up a bunch of different ones and just see which ones we like, and then like kind of narrow it down.
How do you mean diffuse? Like, do you
infuse?
That's what I said. Yeah. Do you just like shove stuff in the bottle and just let it soak?
You literally
that's all you do?
Just drop it in there, seal it up, and let it sit there for a few days.
How much do you put in?
Not a lot, but like they're saying, like some of the fruit, you're going to want to cut the fruit up. Kind of deal, like the bacon's going to be the most complicated one.
You cook it first.
You cook the bacon.
That's
yes.
what I thought.
You cook the bacon, but don't burn it. But the thing is, like the fat will release, and you have to strain
it afterwards.
You have to strain all of them, but the bacon one you typically have to do an extra step. Like you have to scrape the fat off and then strain it.
Yeah.
But I'm super hyped for that. But like I don't know. Can I take maple syrup and just drop it in there? I don't know much about infusing. I read one article on infusing. And they were like, oh, it's real easy. You just drop some shit in there. But can I take some bacon infused and just put some fucking maple syrup in there and have fucking breakfast in a cup? Like pancake breakfast? Liquor?
I want to freeze it in the winter and skate on it. And then in the summer, thaw it out and drink it or brush my teeth with it.
Yeah. So, I feel... If nothing else, I feel like this is going to make some decent YouTube content.
It's going to be awful. It's going to be so bad.
So
we're going to try all of them after we've infused them. Like, oh, it's all tasting better.
I might today see if there's a beer store open when I leave here. Because I think that's where I need to go to get this stuff. But yeah. So y'all have that to look forward to in the coming
Look forward to reading about us in the hospital.
Yeah.
That'll be fun. Or hearing about me when I go blind from trying to drink this stuff that Bob made.
I had one last little thing I wanted to talk about. I saw an article that the headline was basically how to get back into World of Warcraft.
Don't.
Do you see what I wrote?
Don't.
Yeah. Don't. I wouldn't even bring it up, but I have now seen like 2 different articles that were like that. If you're out there thinking about getting back into World of Warcraft, don't.
For a more in-depth opinion on this, talk to Derek. So here's the thing. This expansion sucks.
Yeah.
Like, it's not as good as the last expansion. Last expansion was good. Had you wanted to get back into it, last expansion was your time. Unless they do some wiki wild crazy shit coming up at BlizzCon, there is no point. Like, it is not fun. I didn't even make it to level clap, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
I think your time would be better spent going on to your favorite podcasting service and listening to us.
Yeah.
Or going on to Amazon and buying our shirts.
Yeah.
Or, even better, taking any one of the books or liquor recommendations that we have given, pairing them, finding a nook, reading a book, and get fucking shit hammered.
Yeah. Especially Kings of the Wild or Jade City.
All right, no.
Those are like
Kings
my
of the Wild
things that I've
right
read
now.
So far.
Liquor recommendation.
Kings of the Wild. Look, man, I'm always going to suggest a whiskey because I just like whiskey.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to go like cheap, the Templeton Rye that I had that one time was pretty cheap. I would go with that. If you're a little bit more, you're still within the budget range, but you're a little bit more, go with the Woodford Reserve. That's what I like.
I'm going to, if you want a whiskey to sip, I'm going to recommend the Clyde
Those were both
Mays.
sipping.
Yeah, I'm going to recommend the Clyde Mays Alabama style. If you want to do more like a mixed drink, it's hard to go wrong with a Jack and Coke, you know? Or if you, like me, just do a Heaven and Coke. It's even cheaper, and you fundamentally can't super tell the difference. So, but yeah, I would recommend a mixed drink for reading, make it last a little longer, or just sip real slow.
You put ice in it, and then you have it, and it dilutes over time.
Yeah.
You sit there and sip it. Also, I'm not done, so I don't know why you're trying to end things. I saw a thing on Twitter that made me laugh. It was Penguin Random House tweeted out I forget what they're called, but like a figure drawn with lines and stuff like that that you can keystrokes of holding up a sign that says, "Finish that book you're writing already." And Patrick Rothfuss quote retweeted and said, "I feel attacked."
Nice. I saw something cool. It was a shirt, but I feel like as a podcast we could do this as a product. But it was bookmarks that said "Quitter Strip." It's like the shirt said bookmarks or quitters. Oh, like bookmarks? Oh, do you mean quitter strip?
Oh yeah, you gotta get the picture of the old fashioned boxing.
Oh
guy,
yeah,
though.
yeah.
That's what you need.
But yeah, so Penguin Random House, they just bought someone else. They're like real big.
Yeah.
Like they're the biggest. Like they're bigger than like it's like what the big. There's like five big publishers,
Yeah,
or are they down to 4? 5 or 4, but like they're like as big as like any 2 of the others combined, and then some.
It's because they're the ones that do those classics too.
Yeah, I read a book, or not a book. I read an article about them, and they're privately owned.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I tried to buy stock in them, and that's why I ended up with Pearson, because I couldn't get Penguin Random House. Mm-hmm. But Penguin Random House also, like a lot of the others, have squabbled with Amazon a lot more. See, like Penguin Random House hasn't gotten into a lot of the in-depth squabbles like that. I don't know. Penguin Random House, I feel like I need to give them a deeper look. Like, apparently they're run like a bunch of tiny fiefdoms inside the company that they compete against each other.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So it's like you can have different imprints with, well, not necessarily imprints, but like competing for the same book.
It's competition.
It is, and it makes for better product. So I'm not going to just outright endorse Penguin Random House, but just a little bit I read without doing a deeper dive. I kind of like what they've got going on.
I just know that I liked them because growing up, I had a whole bunch of like classics that were all printed by them. So that's what I had them.
Yeah. I don't know. You got anything else? Because I do want to talk about this competitive D&D, but I figured right after this we could record a little quick podcast about that.
I thought you were going to try and fit it onto this one. I'm talking for a minute on this.
No. I want to do it. I want to do that as a series.
Okay.
For all I'm going to say about it here.
This is the tease for you to come listen to.
Here's the tease. Come listen to it. This is going to be bonus podcasts. We are going to be covering competitive D&D. They are doing their first tournament coming up, and we're super intrigued, so we're going to be following along.
You want to know more specifics? So do we. Do you want to hear speculation? Good. Come listen to the side project.
So you want to do that now?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that now. All right. As always, I challenge you, go forth and grow a great beard.